missing someone.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell by the title, I graduated. Crazy. It doesn't feel like I graduated because, you know, my graduation was supposed to be yesterday, and I spent it quarantined in my house, which is so sad. I feel like I've made two like sit down videos talking about my experience at Western, and those videos I get lots and lots and lots of questions from you guys like on the comments, and then also just like personal messages. Sorry, my chair's like spinning away from me right now. But I also get a lot of messages from you guys on like Instagram and stuff, and like I'm not the best at answering everything just because it's kind of like I get a lot of the same questions. So I thought I wanted to answer your guys' question about Western and school and that in this video, and then also I thought I would just like in general talk about the fact that I graduated and kind of what my plan is afterwards, because that's like a pretty popular question. So yeah, if you have not watched my videos before, I'm going to be a little bit repetitive right now, but I just graduated from the University of Western Ontario. I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts and I majored in psychology. I just did like the 4-year program. Yeah, first year you just major in social science pretty much. That's what everyone who's in like psych and sociology and that type of stuff, like even people in business, you're like majoring in social science. And then afterwards you like pick your area. So yeah, I did psychology, but yeah, I just did regular psych, and then I am now graduated. I can't believe the fact that I'm out of university. Like honestly, those 4 years were like the best 4 years of my life, and it's so sad that it's over. Like I did not dread like when it would be the summer. I wasn't like, oh my god, school's starting again. No, I'd be like so pumped up to go back there. Yeah, I just loved the school a lot. I loved the campus, the people, everything about it was just amazing, and I'm very sad that that like chapter of my life is over, but I also have other exciting things coming up, which I guess I will talk about now. So after graduation, I don't know, in psych it's like very hard because if you have a Bachelor of Arts, like just a BA in psych, like I'm sorry, but like it's really hard to make it far. I'm not gonna say you're not gonna get a good job, because you totally could, but like you don't have as many opportunities. So I was like, okay, so I knew for a fact I wasn't just gonna have my BA, and originally I really wanted to be a psychologist, but I was just like realistically like my marks are not where they need to be able to get honors. For honors in psych, I think you needed like a low to mid 80 average, which is like hard in university. Like that is hard to have that as your average. So I did not get that. Props to anyone who got honors in psych. I'm very jealous of you. But no, that was like a reality of like when I was like in first year or second year, I was like definitely not in the 80s. So yeah, I realized that it would be much harder to get my master's. My plan right now is that since I knew I did want to do more school in whatever form that could be, I'm actually going to be going to college in September. I guess doing college online in September because Corona. But yeah, so in September I am doing a graduate certificate. It's in mental health and addictions. I'm not necessarily fully interested in the whole addictions aspect of it, but I do think it's like very beneficial of me to be able to like learn that as well, because I didn't really learn about that much during my BA. But yeah, so I'm doing mental health and addictions. The main reason I chose that specific program is like anyone that had co-op was mental health and addictions, so I really wanted to be able to get into co-op because I knew that getting into co-op would just like open up so many doors, because I'll be working for 4 months, and then I'm hoping that with that experience I either get in at the place I'm co-oping for a full-time job, or just like that opens up other doors. So that is the plan. Who knows if maybe in the future I'll end up applying to do my master's or something. Right now I'm not there. I just like I don't think I want to do my master's. I was so set on it before, and like I don't know, I don't think after I'll even try to do it. After I get like enough experience and stuff, I'm really interested in opening a life coach practice of my own. I just think that is something that I really, really want to do. And like when I think about it, like a psychologist versus a life coach, like as a life coach, you're able to give your own personal input a lot more and your own personal advice. And like, given the fact that I have dealt with so many mental health difficulties in my own life, like I feel like it would be very beneficial for people to like fully be able to like understand, like, I went through this, you know what I mean? Like I just want it to be a lot more personal than it being like as like clinical. So I feel like that is kind of what my plan is after school. So still doing counseling pretty much. Yeah, I had a lot of people ask like, yeah, why I chose psych and stuff, and yeah, the main reason is just because I went through like mental health troubles since I was like in grade 8. So it's something that like since I went through it, I remember like when I was like really going through it, like looking up, being like, how can I help people who are going through this? And like that's just what my passion has been. I've known that I wanted to do something with mental health since I was in like grade 8, grade 9. So yeah, I just really want to be able to help people with what I once went through, because I feel like the voice of somebody who's had experience is just a lot more powerful. And like if they can understand that like I've been there, and it's not like the whole idea of like you don't understand what it's like, oh no, I do. And then also, I didn't mention this, but this summer since COVID, I'm volunteering, and I'm volunteering for Kids Help Phone, just doing their like online thing. So I'm like texting people pretty much, which is really nice, and I'm really excited to start that in a weird way. Not excited to read the stuff I'm gonna read, but like I'm really excited for the opportunity and to feel like I have purpose this summer, you know? Okay, we're gonna get into questions. So I made an Instagram story asking for questions. First time doing that. That was weird, but I'm gonna first start in my DMs. Okay, someone asked, I wanted to know if you remember what you took in grade 12 to get into that course and what your marks were. Okay, so in grade 12, my average was, I think it was an 88 point something. I'm pretty sure that that's what it was. Because I knew to get a scholarship, I think you need an 89, and I was like point something off from that scholarship. Yeah, I think I had an 88 average. And what courses did I take? I don't really remember a specific course that I needed. I knew that I took psychology in high school, which I thought was super, super helpful. Just having like a background, like, you know, you get background knowledge before taking psych in uni. Also warning, Psych 1000 at Western, I hated that course, which was really confusing to me. It's like the most broad general course ever about psych. Like you're learning about like the human eye and stuff, and I was like, this is not what I signed up for. Like I want to learn about like the deep stuff, not about like how your eye works. Like I was so confused, but get through that, and then you have like a lot of interesting fun psych courses to take after first year. First year just like wasn't it. But yeah, I don't remember exactly what I took in grade 12 to get in. I feel like it was just general courses. Like I don't even think I needed a math. I think I needed like grade 11 math. I don't think I took math in grade 12. But take it, because stats kicked my butt in university. Those were hard because math is not my thing. Someone asked, I want to know if I do my first and second year in Vancouver and then transfer my third and fourth year in university, is it easy and possible to do so? Well, I don't personally have experience with that. It's more of a like Western type question, but it is definitely possible to transfer your credits over to a different school. I'm pretty sure that that definitely works, but definitely reach out to Western for that question because I'm not totally positive. Next question. I was wondering what jobs could I get if I majored in psychology, and what your path for you is going to look like after university. Well, I kind of already talked about my path, getting my grad certificate and then hopefully being a counselor. And then what jobs could you get if you majored? I don't know exactly what you can get with just a BA. I kind of looked it up, and like there's not that many opportunities. Like if you Google what can you do with a BA in psych, like random jobs pop up. Like it's not as much like one-on-one, and I don't think the pay is like the greatest. I mean, if you can find something, props to you. Wish I could find something, but like I don't know. I think that going into psych, just with your like just getting a BA in psych, you kind of have to go into it knowing you're probably going to do more school. which is fine because if you like what you're learning, you won't dread it. Like, I'm actually excited for school. I never dreaded it just because I kind of always knew I needed to do something along with it. Yeah, pretty much path for after school, more school. And then I also got a question from the same person saying, what courses would you recommend a first year in social science trying to major in psych take? There's certain like breadth requirements that you have to take in first year. Don't totally remember what those are. But I did need to take 2 math courses and then Psych 1000 for sure. So yeah, take Psych 1000 if you can get Dr. Mike, I think his last name's Adkins. Definitely recommend. I mean, I don't know how it's gonna be because you guys can't really be in person, I don't think, first year now, which is like really hard, but Dr. Mike was a really great prof. I really liked him. So yeah, you have to take Psych 1000, and then for the maths, I'm pretty sure you have options, but I kind of recommend the 2 that I took. I took 1229, which was, I don't totally remember. What was it? Algebra? I think it was algebra. I'm not positive, but as I mentioned before, I am really, really, really bad at math, but that math I did well in, and that says a lot. So it's a really easy math. And then I think the other one I took, I know it was stats, I think it's 1024. That one I found a little bit harder, but it preps you a lot for what you have to take in second year. And it's in second year that you have to take like full year stats courses, and those ones are hard. So like definitely take 1024. I'm pretty sure that's the course code to like prep for the following years, even if you don't want to. It's definitely smart to do. Okay, the other questions I can't really answer because it's about people wanting to do their masters and stuff, and I don't have knowledge on that right now. Okay. My hairdresser messaged me and goes, are you gonna miss your favorite hairstylist? Yes, I am. Look at my hair currently. If you're in London, give you a little shout out. If you're in London, go to Jodie at Salon Entre Nous. Her Instagram is the_social_blonde. She does my hair and it looks so amazing whenever she does it. I think it's been, I guess it would be almost a year now, because I think I got it done in September probably, since I got my hair done, and like it still looks great. It's just my roots have grown out a lot, but like it's still toned and everything. It's usually like more silver, but like this is pretty good hair for not getting it done for that long. Yeah, best hairdresser ever. Go check her out if you want to be blonde. If you are blonde, go check her out. My friend Sav said, how are you so pretty? I don't really know how to answer that. I love you though. Someone asked, why did you choose Western? Honestly, I don't really have an exact reason for why I chose Western. Originally, I had my heart set on Guelph, and I really, really wanted to go to Guelph University. Like, I was like 99% sure that that's where I wanted to go. And then I don't know, I also didn't think I was going to get into Western. I had got into every school, and then, it sounded braggy, but I got into every school except for Western, and then near the end, like way later on, I heard from Western, which like a lot of people did then, but I knew people who had heard earlier, so I was like, I don't think I got in, so I wasn't really considering it. Sorry if the lighting, whoa. We're gonna have to ignore that. But when I heard I got into Western, I got like super, super excited. I had already toured it and stuff, and like when I toured it, it feels really, really big at first, and like I thought that it felt really overwhelming. So at first I didn't think I wanted to go there, because I was like, this is huge, this is its own town, like I don't think I want to go here. But I got in, I got super, super excited, and then I was like, okay, got into the school. It's like a really good school. It's one of like the best in Ontario or Canada. So I like went and I toured Guelph, I toured Western, went to Guelph first, and when I toured it, I was like, this doesn't hit the same. I was like, I don't feel in love right now. And then I went to Western, and when I saw it, I was like, this is it. It's so beautiful there. And then after being there just like the second time, kind of knowing where stuff is a little bit more and having a better idea of it, and like I went with my dad, not with a tour group that time, so we just kind of like ventured around, which was really nice. Yeah, I kind of made my decision on the spot and went and bought a sweater, and I was like, well, I'm paying $60 for a sweater right now, it's official. But yeah, and then I also really liked McMaster, except they only had, I think they only had social psychology. They didn't just have normal psychology, so I didn't end up going there just because they didn't have like the exact type of program that I wanted, except Guelph, the only difference between Western and Guelph is that at Guelph you can get into, first you can get into psych honors right away, and then also you can major in psych in your first year, whereas at Western, your first year you're majoring in social science, so you're not taking all the like super personalized courses to you, and like there's legit only one psychology course to take in first year, so that is definitely something to think about, but I still feel like I got everything out of it, you know? And then the last question, sorry this is a very long video, but the last question I have is, how is your transition from high school to university academically? I'm trying to think, sorry, that was, feels like a very long time ago. There's definitely a change in your grades. Like in high school, it would be very normal to get like 80s, 90s, whereas in university, that's definitely a lot harder. I will say for me, I found that, sorry, ears itchy. I will say that I found that, like for me, my strength is writing essays. So like in university and in high school, I ended up getting very, very similar grades on the papers that I wrote. Like I did well on both, and I honestly didn't really see a drop in my grades with that type of stuff, but for like exams and stuff, like it is a completely different world. Like, oh my gosh, like in high school, like I barely had to study. Like night before an exam, I'd be like, oh, let's look through my books. Okay, cool, and I'd be done. And then you try pulling that in university. For most people, that does not work. It does not work for me. I don't know, I found the hardest part like academically was just kind of like finding a new way to study. Like if you're in psych, you need like there's a lot of reading. My friends who are in other programs did not experience what I experienced with reading, but like each course I would take was 5 courses, and then all the books would be like that thick, and then every week would be like read this chapter or read 2 chapters, but each chapter could be like 50-60 pages, and it was like a big thick textbook. Yeah, so you need to read a lot, make a lot of notes, so it's a lot of information to remember for exams, and like I'm not necessarily the best at multiple choice, and that's what it was a lot of the time, so I definitely saw my marks drop when I would do exams. I feel like later on in university, like I slowly figured out what worked for me and stuff. Like I used to type my notes out and like make them too detailed, and then later on I realized that writing them out is better for me, and I also write less that way, so like it just kind of was like a learning curve of figuring out how you study. But yeah, I know when I went to school they like tell you that everyone's marks will drop like 20% and stuff, and I'm like, that didn't happen to me. Not that drastically, but like definitely my marks altogether were not as high as high school, but it's also a very different world. Like there's a lot more, you know what I mean? It's a lot more work, but yeah, like university is definitely a lot more work, but it's not anything that's like not doable or anything. Like just make time for it. Like I had time to study, to do okay, or to study and do well, and then also like have a social life still. So I don't know, it's not as bad as you might think it might be. Like totally doable, do your work, you're Gucci. Well, that is it for this video. This is weird. If you have any questions, you can leave them down below, because I feel like I get quite a few questions. I don't know, I can answer them either in the comments or just like as a part of another video. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that some of the stuff I said made sense and I was a little bit helpful. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.